Hey Dynasty, how you doing over here? Good morning, everybody. I hope all is well. We're going to talk this morning about getting out of our heads and getting into making money. So now I'm Biz Strategist Sandy here, and happy Monday morning to you. I hope you had a marvelous weekend, and I hope that you got some things done and that you used the time. If you had any free time, you used it wisely to make some goals and some plans this week, for you. So now I'm talking to the ones that out here, you're in business. Hey, Natural Born man. So I'm out here talking about helping you grow as an entrepreneur, starting a business, growing your finances and things like that. And I hope y'all saw my other video that I mentioned to you about the credit breach. I hope y'all took that seriously. If you didn't, you need to go back and look at it. I have some information for you if you like it. So da 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 da. Hey there. So anyway, if you have any questions for me, let's have this conversation. We're here. I'm live this morning. This is not pre-recorded, but if you watched it after the live, then you can still DM me. Most people, that's what they've been doing lately, DMing me, and I do understand you want your privacy, but here again, that's fine with me. Hey, I don't mind it. I even gained a few clients just this over this past weekend from them DMing me because they wanted to speak with me one-on-one, and we did a virtual meeting. So that's an option for you. Okay, you can go on, you can make an appointment with me or we can speak through the DMs. And so if I don't have anybody setting that appointment slot, then guess what, I can meet with you. So anyway, sorry y'all, over here YouTube and Facebook and what else over. Oh yeah, on my Facebook pages over here, I was drinking my smoothie earlier. So anyway, that's the situation. So now what I want to talk about first is get out of our heads and make money. But the first thing I want to talk about is our mindset. I want to ask you a question. Is it something that you're afraid of? Or you fear of failure? Is something going on with you? But if it is, strike that and get rid of that. You don't have time to be self-defeating. You don't have time to be just, suppressed in your ability to do what God has called you to do. You have something that the world needs, and you have the ability, just like I have the ability, you have the ability to. We all have the ability to create wealth, and we need to exercise that. So that's what we're going to talk about this morning, along with some strategies. So we just got this ain't motivation. This is going to be semi-motivation here, but we're going to talk about some strategies, because some actions you can take this week to get prepared for your next level. And I'm looking all of these screens because I have a camera here, I have a camera here, and a camera there. So don't think that I'm just looking out in space or something like that. I am talking to the masses right now. So anyway, that's what I want to say to you this morning. So now, like I said, get rid of the fear, get rid of your doubts, get rid of anything that you have, because listen, if they don't see it for themselves, let me repeat this. If nobody sees it for themselves, they'll never see it for you. They have to see what they want, what you want. They have to see it in themselves and above, because it's just human nature, people. Some people are just designed not to support you. It's not them personally. They just got some stuff they got to deal with within. It has totally, absolutely nothing to do with you and what you're capable of doing. Nothing at all. So don't put yourself in a box. Don't put your mind in a box. Just look, get your scriptures, meditate on your word, research whatever you do for is getting your spiritual walk. I read my Bible. Do what you do. I ain't pushing me on you, but do what you do. Okay. And that's the way you're going to make it through. Okay. Now, so the first thing we have to do is identify our beliefs. And if you believe that you can start that business, if you believe you can grow that business, you have to take everything and remove the perfection too, but you have to take everything in you and move forward. You have to you have to go inwardly and walk that narrow road and really constantly tell yourself, come up with some strategies, like just like we gonna come up with some strategies this morning and talk about some strategies for your business. Come up with some strategies, because you are the common denominator for your success. You're the common denominator of getting that business out there. I ain't always been here. Yes, I've been doubtful, defeatful, had people to discourage me. I'm telling you what will work. I'm not telling you something from a textbook. It will work if you work it. If you work your mind, if you seek God, if you do what you need to do, it's going to happen for you in his timing. But you have to build that muscle. Your muscle is the most important thing that you can have when you are building. How do you build that muscle? You read your word of God, you go within, you study, you meditate, whatever you have to do to get you to the next level. That's what you got to do. You got to tune out the noise, tune out the naysayers. Stop being doubtful about you, because one thing about it, people will give their opinion to you about you, and they really don't know you. Somebody needed to hear that. People will give their opinion about you, and they really don't know you. So don't worry, don't be afraid, don't just don't let anybody. Okay. Now, the next thing that you have to do, take action on everything. Now, let's talk about business for a little bit here. Taking action. If you know that there's a few things, or is starting your business, there's some things that you have to do. Start your business. Sit down and whatever's comfortable for you. Like if you're writing it out, hey Carl, whatever you're writing it out, whatever you have, write it out, and or put it on your electronic device, however you feel comfortable with making it so where you can implement it and not just sit there and just keep it all in your head. That's what I said. We got to get out of our head and make our money in business. And we're talking about entrepreneurship now. So when you do that, you have got it. And what comes on with that is the confidence. Just like I mentioned earlier, in order for you to have the confidence in yourself, you got to know what you need to do. You have to know what you know. Confidence comes from confiding in it, being confiding within it. You got to have it all. You got to know what you know. And that builds your confidence. If you don't know anything, you're not confident in anything. You have to be confident in you. You have to know what you know, and you have to believe in what you know. And that's confidence. Some people can try to mistake it for arrogancy. Don't let people put a cap on you. Don't allow people to put a cap on you. If you're confident that business is going to work for you, and you've sit down and you've consulted with somebody, maybe you got a coach, maybe it's somebody that you've spoken with about your situation. Guess what? That's a part of your confidence. That's something that they don't know that you know. And it can come off a little bit arrogant to them, but it's not to you, because you know what you've done behind the scenes. Okay. So let's strike that. And this is how you're going to move forward, because energy is real, people. It is so real. People are not just feeling some kind of way sometimes just by osmosis. You just don't feel defeated sometimes oh just because sometimes there's an underlying reason for it. So you got to do all this stuff here. I'm telling you, it's going to work for you. It really is. Now, next thing I want you to understand about this here, get out your head and make this money. You have got to focus on your results. Okay, you want to start your business. What is the result of you starting your business? What do you want to do? You want to start the business. I want to start this business. Well, what are the results that you're looking for in this business? And you know what? You ever heard of reverse engineering? That's when your confidence gonna have to come in. That's when you gonna have to, like I said earlier, the fear of failure. You can't listen to people. You can't listen to the negativity. You can't listen to your failures in the past on something and not thinking that you can't focus on this right here, this new thing and this new, and get the result for this new thing that you want to do. You can't do it. You can't do it. You are going to have to focus on your result. You're going to have to know what you want. You're going to have to be clear on what you want, and you're going to have to do it. For instance, when it comes down to your business, if you know that you want this end goal, you need in between there, there's systems, there's things that you have to do, there's marketing that you have to do, there's sometimes people don't like to do it, but there's cold calling, there's social media things that you have to do. If you don't do them, you need to hire somebody to do them. There are so many layers after you've initially set your business up. There's so many other layers for you to do. And if you want that result, that end result, all that in between is going to have to happen. It's inevitable. It has to happen. You can't neglect. You can't neglect it. You can't not think about it's going. You got to do. No, you have to do it. You really do. The next thing is you're going to have to create your mindset for is making money. You're going to have to do that. What do I mean by that? You're going to have to come up with, you're going to have to shift your mindset, shift your scarcity mindset. What you need to do is okay, if I come up with a system for, let's say, for marketing, if I come up with a system and I got this business idea and I'm being defeated and all of this other chatter done played in my mind, and I got to get clear and I got to change my mindset. You have to see, okay, what kind of business, what am I starting? Hey, yeah, what am I starting? What kind of business am I starting? Who's going to be my target audience? This is why you have to know who your audience. How do I find that out? See, all of that is in between the business portion. How do you find out who is my target audience? You have got to do your research. You have to know and determine who is this person, this one avatar, this one person that my client is the carbon copy of. And every business has it, okay? Every business has it. You have to know that. When you know that, you got to move towards getting in front of them, getting and learning them. So this is what I mean with them, say your mindset. So then you got to determine, okay, how many of these people do I want to serve? Or what do I have the capacity to serve in my business? This is another thing that you must know. What capacity? And so that is your mindset. You have got, that is creating your money making mindset. And then you have to move towards the things, everything it is that's going to have to take place in order for you to get to that result. Here again, like we just said, the other one, the third one, the result. Okay. Now, with all of that being said too, as you, okay, let's say you want to make, okay, for the sake of example and calculations, let's say you got 50 people. I got 50 people that I want to serve. I can serve at this capacity, 50 people for the month, because you're working with them one-on-one, right? So because 50, let's just say 50. If you're going to work with somebody one-on-one, you got this coaching program, or let's say even you got this service that you can only see 50 people a month, 50 people, because it's so intense. It ain't just something that you can, digital product you can put online. Okay. Let's say with those 50 people, you may have, you probably may have, let's say, product that may be $997 because you're going to spend the time with them. You're going to spend, and then this is on the low ball. This is a low, $997 ain't totally enough to sit down with someone, and but I'm just for the sake of just being realistic for some, for some people that may not have that just maybe starting out. Let's say 997 times 50 people for the whole month. And you're going to work with them possibly one-on-one. And you probably, because 50 people, let's see, you probably have to work with would have been probably about two or three people a week. Well, yeah, you have to work with a few let's just say 50 people. Altogether 50. We're going to say just 50 or whatever, however the capacity or whatever. No, let's say you're doing a group coaching thing. You're going to do 50 people a week. I mean, a month, because that'll be more realistic. Just for this particular, thing that you're going to roll out. This program you're going to roll out, you want to work with 50 people because when you need to work with them one-on-one, you'll be able to work with them one-on-one. Okay, we'll just say that. And you're just charging them $9.97. So you've gotten everything, you've done everything, you've gotten rid of those limiting beliefs. Your fear is gone, all this other stuff. You focus on the results that you're going to get them. You have already mapped out this program that you start, right? With 50 people. This is creating the money mindset. This is the one I'm talking about, creating your money mindset now. This is what we're talking about. Do you know with $997, and you're working with those 50 people for the entire month? Just, it's a 12-week program, but let's just say for 1 month, you would have made 1 month, you're just going to take on, enrollees. You would have made $49,850 just for that month. Now, the following month, you may be doing something else. Well, this is going to be a 12-week program, but still next month you may want to roll out something else with another set of group of people, and they may start something totally different, and then you can do, whatever. So you see the possibility of the $49,850 just with 50 people. 50 people. So I know if you got a program, a coaching program or whatever, if I'm missing some of y'all over here, hey, everybody, if you're sneaking in and over here on me. So anyway, that's something when you're creating your money mindset, you're creating something, you're saying, okay, I'm going to offer this service. I'm going to offer something. What can I do? And your money, and listen, then you come up with a strategies to make that happen, right? That's what you do. You come up with your ways and make it happen. Now I'll come to number 5, and it's just piggyback on what we just speaking of. Set clear financial goals. You got to set clear financial goals. This, what we just went over, is one of the ways. First, that mindset got to get together, because a lot of you don't think that it's possible. A lot of you don't think that you got anything to offer 50 people for 1 month, or to do that you're going to sell for 1 month to get you to that $49,000 mark for 1 month. You don't have something $997, but you got to first, you can't just come off the bat doing it. You got to nurture, and you have to let people know, or your avatar, your potential client know, that I have something that I can serve you. And it's all about serving someone else, letting them get the result for something that you're sharing with them, or something that you're teaching them, or something that you're giving them that they maybe don't have the time to do, because they may be working 9 to 5, but they want to start their business. And they may need your help for something, or they may have a service that they need you to do for them, and they don't know how to do it. Your expertise is what they need, and voila, the rest is history. So it's so many things that you can do, but you got to get out your head with all the other stuff. Now, back to your financial goals. A lot of times when we are working on our financial goals, we're not we're not measuring the progress that we're making to get to those goals. And then when we expect, just like today, this video, it may not get the views that I wanted to get, because I have, one, Everybody is doing some other things. Some people may be working, but throughout the day or later on, it will get the traction it need, or it will get the views it need because of, longevity. I'm measuring the time, I'm measuring it, but at the same time, I do know I can't measure it from what's going on here live now. Just like a TV show. That's why they have on demand, Xfinity, on demand, any of your cable networks or your digital, anything is on demand, webinars. You can go back and watch them later too. So don't get hung up on the measurement of the metrics just like immediately. Let's calm down and be patient. And that's a lot of our problems too. We think because the thing is not happening right now, that it is, oh, this ain't for me. Yeah. God may be calling you to that, but God may be also calling you to have a little patience out here in the world, because you ain't running nothing. He's given you the ability to create wealth. It's on his timing that it's going to happen. So along that process, you got to do what you have to do. You got to listen to God. You got to hear him. And along that process, and he's gonna help you be a little bit more, secure in your thoughts and in your plans and in your beliefs. And a little bit along the way, he's gonna take those fears and throw them and cast them out to the sea. And then along the way, he's gonna help you focus, and he's going to help you to be confident in what you're doing, but not act like you're arrogant and a perfectionist. He's going to, along the way, he's going to take you through that process and change your mindset, because you would have wrote the vision and made it plain so you can see it, and then you can have the mindset and the beliefs to know that you can do it. Okay, that's what he does for us. That's what he does. So now also, with this setting clear financial goals, you got to see it in order to be able to achieve it. Let me repeat that. You have to see it in order to know you can achieve it. If you don't see it, you'll never believe you can do it, because you don't understand the numbers that I just calculated up here. The numbers but they doable for you. They are. They're achievable for me too, and you. They're achievable. Now, next thing. Whew, some of you out here, I know you have it. We know you have it. You strong. You courageous. But you got to leverage that strength. You have to do what God has called you to do unapologetically. A lot of us, we let people get in our ears and our mind. Like I said earlier, we don't have we can't do, we get defeated before we even get started. And remember, you have something that the world needs. You have something that we need. Your strength is our weakness. Your strength is our weakness. And it can be possibly that idea. Deuteronomy 8:18 says, God has given you the ability to create wealth. That may be that wealth machine. That it just may be that. Yeah, maybe. You never know. But you got to leverage your strength. Identify your personal strengths. There's some personality tests out there. You can do that. And if you don't believe in that kind of stuff, then I don't know what to tell you to do. Go pray about it and ask God to reveal it to you. And when he do, write it down so he will remember it. Okay? But just maybe he's the one that gave the person the idea that have those tests. See, y'all get so deep sometime in the word, you'd be like, oh, the God, that ain't of God. Da, 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 da. Sometimes God, just like he's giving you the idea to do something, he gives people ideas to create things. And those personality tests and those strength tests may be just created for you. My God. You ever thought about that? We get so super, we get so heavenly bound till we ain't no earthly good. And yeah, I love to say that because it's the truth. mm, I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, that's my veggie smoothie there. I try to eat right. I don't talk about it. I try to be about it. Okay. Now, next thing. Hey, over here. Next thing. Networking and collaborating. Building relationships with others is a wonderful thing. Y'all know what? Every group, every race does that, but a minimal of the African American community. We don't know how to do that because, like I was talking about earlier, we got to get rid of some of that crap we got going on. Seriously, people, we got to get rid of some of that crap we got going on in our heads. That jealousy, that envy, that covetousness, all of that other stuff that is not of God. We have to get rid of it. We have to love ourselves so we can love others. And that's all I'm saying. When you love you, you can love somebody else effortlessly. It won't take all of that. It just naturally flows because it just doesn't take all of that because you have it in you. And once we learn to network and collaborate with each other, and once we learn to connect and collaborate with one another and bringing our gifts and our talents together, complementary, then more doors will open up for you. More doors will open up. More doors. And that will lead to you growing financially, relationally. Because a lot of times it's not, when you see in a lot of people out here that are being successful and, walking into places, like, how did they get there? Because of the relationship they had with networking with like-minded people. Now, I'm not talking about the haters. You don't need to collab with them because you ain't getting nowhere. You're going to be like this right here. You're going to be trying to get somewhere and they're going to be pulling you down. they're going to be pulling you down because it's in them. The gravity pull is going to be too strong. I'm telling you. Been there, done that. It's too strong. So you got to collaborate in sincerity. In sincerity, you got to collaborate. Now, the next thing is, the next thing is you need to invest in yourself. You got to invest in your personal growth. You just don't think that, hey, you got it all together. And if you don't know something in an area that you want to grow in, whether it's business, personal, whatever you're going through. And see, this is right here is why it's so important that whatever gift and talent you have, you may be the one that need to be need to be talking to someone that has the mindset to invest in themselves, or a coaching program, or whatever kind of businesses, service business you have. That's why you have to live your visions, your dreams, your callings. Know who you are. Know who you are and know what is your purpose for being here, because you are shortchanging, you are taking away from people that need you. They need the gift that God has given you for you to have. See, everybody can't serve everybody, and everybody wasn't meant to, so stop looking at it in a sense that you overall don't have what it takes. You may not have what it takes for the whole world, but you have some group and a niche of people, a group of, you have it. You have what it takes to help somebody. So just don't think that you don't, because you do. And that same person that, like I said, have the mindset to invest in themselves, you may be the one that they need to see. They need you to give them you need to give them your gifts and your talents so where everybody can come out on top. That's what it's all about. Y'all fighting with each other too much. In here and in here. You're fighting too much with your heads and your hearts, and you ain't getting nothing done that way. Nothing is going to happen. Nothing. Next thing. Some of us get so hung up on this that we just go into a depression when this happened to us. You got to embrace your failures in life. Your failures in life are lessons and blessings. I know mine were, are, and still are. My failures are nothing but my blessings. I learned something from them and I know what not to do the next time. Learn something and know what not to do the next time. So when that bigger, because the higher you go up and the more you change your mindset, and God says we got to always stay in Christ Jesus with our mind stayed on him. That is so true because the enemy is lurking. He's lurking. The Bible tells you that. He's lurking. He's lurking. He's lurking. He's lurking. Those monitoring spirits out there. Those, the Jezebel spirit. Oh God, what? It's you need to study them spirits. I mean, learn about them because they are, the jealous spirit, the covenant spirit, the combative spirit. A lot of times we deal with that all the time, and we don't realize it. We don't even realize what's going on. We have to back that spiritual warfare, especially when you are doing things and changing and doing what's right and want to be better and all this stuff. Let me tell you, you ain't exempt. They're going to come it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. You're not exempt. So in order for you to get something out of life, you got to grow and you got to improve. And the only way we're going to do that is we got to leave those things behind us. And I'm talking to myself because I've had to leave some things behind me just here recently. I had to leave it back there. Leave it back there where it's supposed to be. Okay? So I'm telling you from experience, and I'm talking to you from experience, and I'm encouraging you from experience. And I hope that you hear what I got now, hear what I'm saying to you this morning. That's all. Now, the last thing is, just for this conversation, the last thing is not one of the last things, but this is just a few of them. It's so many more we can talk about. Consistency, being consistent. A double-minded man is unstable in all their ways. A double-minded person, a double-minded man, double-minded woman, double-minded whatever is unstable. We don't want instability. We don't have time for instability because the economy in the world is doing something that we don't understand right now and will be a little bit. We still don't understand. So we got to be on point. We have to be on point to do. Hey, how you doing? Okay. Let me see. Let me see. I'm reading this right here. Understanding. Thank you so much. Okay. What's the difference between believing and knowing? You tell me. Tell me. Okay. What's the difference between believing and knowing? Believing is something that you, what's the difference between believing and knowing? Believing, believing it is you have hope in it. And knowing is something that is already a fact, right? Something that no, if you know something, it has already come to pass because it has already happened. You know what I'm saying? That's a factual situation. That's an event. That's my opinion. Okay, that's my opinion. All right, tell me what you think and tell me, am I right or wrong? Okay, I'm sorry about that. Now the last one we're gonna talk about consistency. I'm sorry, y'all. I really wanted to hear his yeah, because he come in here and give me some, he come in and give me some deep thought conversation. Love it, love it, love it, my brother. Love it, my brother. Okay. Consistency is the key, y'all. Okay. Everything we talked about earlier. I'm sorry you came in a little late, but you missed. And thank you for the shares. Thank you for the hearts too. All of those in here, give us some hearts, give us some love over there in TikTok land. So now back to consistency every day. Like I said earlier, once you kind of deal with those things we talked about fear, having encouragement, being motivated, believing in yourself, having your confidence in yourselves and things like that. Your consistency, see, all of that is going to build on you being consistent. You can't be consistent with nothing, anything, if you're not confident, you haven't done the work with yourselves, that personal development. You can't, there's no way you can be consistent, because being consistent is you believing in what you're doing. And other people will know you're capable of doing something, knowing, because they see you being consistent. You being consistent in what you believe in. You being consistent that what you believe will get the results or get the answer to the questions or to the thing that you so desire to get an outcome for. Remember, we talked about results earlier. For those that was in here earlier, we talked about the results of something. So consistency is the key. I'm consistent with what I do with my business because I believe, and there's someone out here or people out here or my avatar out here that I know I can help to get their end result in whatever they're doing in my expertise, which is my business strategy, right? I believe, because that's why I'm consistent, because I believe in what I'm doing. I believe that I can help. I believe that I believe I have what it takes to help you get to your next level, or to help you get your government contract, or to help you get your, get your grant, or to help you get your business up and running. But there's a process, like we talked about earlier. There's processes to everything. Okay. We can get your business together, we can set it up, we can start working on things. But if you're not making money in your business, you need to ask yourself the question too. One, are you getting the coaching that you need to learn other things? And two, what are you doing to help the process along? If you're not paying anybody to do it for you, what are you doing? So that's why when I'm working with my clients, I let them know this is what we're doing, but sometimes you have to do your part too as well. Unless you're paying someone to do certain things. And another time, we'll talk about this another day, for as how you price your services, or how you price, whatever you have to offer, because there's a system to it. And it can be, if someone comes to you for your expertise, you either charge them by the service, and what it'll cost you an hour for its labor. That's labor and intellectual property costs. If not, then they would have to do it themselves. So, that's just some little things that I wanted to mention too. All right. Okay. That should be all. TikTok, I'm going to stay open a little longer for y'all. I want to talk to y'all for a few minutes. So, anyway, everybody, that's all. That's all I want to discuss with you today is get out of your head and make some money. So, that is it for now. And then I'll talk to you later on today. And I hope that you thought about some of these things that we talked about and you're going to implement them in your world. Okay. All right. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Over